99% of your efforts might be completely wasted. And this realization hits me so much when I was reading this book, The Almanac of Naval Applicant, during one of my most challenging times in my life. That time I moved to a new country, starting from zero, so busy settling with my young kids and also losing my job. While I thought I have almost lost everything. And this book has taught me that most of what we do doesn't actually move the needle. I realize I have been doing it all wrong, and Naval shows me hope that there is a completely different game that is worth playing. The wasted effort here is nothing negative, and is also not what you think. And so in this video, I'm sharing the 7 principles that I learned from this book that had a significant impact on my approach to life and wealth creation, and hopefully will change your perspective too. The first principle: you won't get rich renting out your time. You must own equity to gain financial freedom. Perhaps you might think, oh, this is what I already know, not trading time for money. But the true power behind this statement is about shifting from consumption to ownership mindset. When we have a job, we think we own it, but in reality, we don't own anything. Even when you achieve the top rank in a company, you don't own it. You're still trading your time for money, but just at a higher rate. For most people, we get our salary, we then buy stuff, we consume, we think we are generating wealth, enjoying a good life. But Naval says wealth is about owning assets that make money while you sleep. And people would now say, oh yes, I know that too, I'm gonna buy a property. No, these assets can also be content, business, investment, personal brand, IP, anything that would generate values without your constant input. You don't need to own a property, making huge investment in order to start generating wealth. I'm not asking you to quit your day job, but ask yourself, what percentage of your income comes from your active work versus assets that you own? If it's mostly from active work, what are some small steps you could start taking on the side to build or acquire something that generates values on its own? And the next principle: all returns in life come from compound interest, and not just with money. This applies to relationships, knowledge, skills, everything that matters. We are all being trained by society for quick results, and even now with AI, we're just so impatient to see results immediately. All those videos talking about how to get rich or become a millionaire overnight, how to earn lazy money, getting millions of subscribers in just a few months. But Naval says the real wealth results come from playing long-term games with long-term people. Effortless is a myth. You have to work really hard for others to believe it's so easy. And I believe you must have this kind of experience too. You want something so bad that you hope it would just work out at the end. You put so much effort, but still no, it sounds like true efforts doesn't pay you back. And this is what Naval mentions about compound interest, because every right actions that you take will eventually compound over time. Your reputations, your skills, your specific knowledge, your wealth, everything will stack up if you're heading in the right directions. And you just need to be patient. For example, learning a high-income skills might seem a lot of work today, but over 5 years, it's a great investment. So what you could start today that might not pay immediately, but would compound dramatically over time. Maybe it's learning AI skills, changing fields, or starting a side project. Everyone must start from zero. Everyone needs to go through that stage, but you just have to give them a long enough time scale. It never happens in a time scale you want or they want, but it does happen. The next principle: specific knowledge is knowledge you cannot be trained for. If society can train you, it can train someone else and replace you. Naval has consistently mentioned specific knowledge throughout this book, and this is one of the most important pieces he mentioned about building wealth. He says specific knowledge is found by pursuing your genuine curiosity and passion rather than whatever is hot right now. And it is often technical or creative and cannot be easily outsourced or automated. And my understanding is it simply means your gifted talent, your unique way of thinking, your judgment, and your superpower. What are those those things that feels like a play to you, but is like a difficult task to others. Perhaps it's your unique accents, your sales skills, your coding or building skills. You have to self-reflect deeply and get this clarity through actions. No one can answer you this question. And it comes back to my other videos about the skills that make you irreplaceable in the AI age. It's your thinking and judgment, and it can't be taught. I cannot teach how I think and my judgment. An excellent example is Steve Jobs. He is not just a technical person. He has aesthetic sense and attention to design. He has unique ability to connect technologies with humanities and arts, and this is something that can't be taught. The next principle, 99% of efforts are wasted. When I first read this, my first impression was, what? But then I realized what it really means is from a goal-achieving perspective. Efforts is never completely wasted in the learning sense. You can learn from anything that you do, from your job, from your study. However, from the perspective of achieving a specific goal, most of your efforts do not directly contribute to that outcome. You staying late to finish projects, responding to emails, crazily networking, but how many of these efforts actually translate into the final outcome that is meaningful to you? These efforts might not compound over time. And so what Naval says is to be thoughtful and realize in most things, relationships, work, and even learning, you're actually trying to find that one thing, the 1% you can go all in to earn compound interest and to say no to things that don't serve you. Honestly, I just keep thinking about this again and again after reading this, and I found it actually echoing so well with the physics of progress framework from Tom Bigelow. So every time you set a goal, and then you set a hypothesis to test if it will work or not, and you collect data even if you fail, and this time you build another hypothesis, and we run the test more intelligently until you are getting closer to your goal. And this is exactly the 1% concept shared by Naval. Yes, it might seem that the effort are wasted if we're just talking about achieving goals, but through the actions, we become wiser. We understand ourselves better. What is our unique talent? And that's why just being consistent, hardworking doesn't guarantee you results. You have to work smart by keep finding the right direction, and that is the 1%. The next principle, status game are zero sum. Wealth creation is positive sum. And this really hits me when I first read about this. So Naval explained there are two fundamental games in life, status game and wealth creation games. And status games are everywhere, not just in the workplace. Chasing job titles, power, buying luxury items just to impress others. And even on social media, we are all playing the status game that we might not be aware of. Chasing likes, chasing views. The problem is status games are zero sum. They create anxiety, comparison, and drain your creative energy. And he raised the perfect solution, escape the competition. And how you can do that is by being you. You immediately eliminate the competition by just focusing on the values that you're contributing. You're creating your own growth trajectory. So just ask yourself how much of your anxiety comes from comparing yourself to others rather than measuring your own progress. What would change if you focus entirely on your value creation instead of status? So these days, I don't create videos just to get views. Of course, I know a certain topic will explode, but do I just want to keep doing that just to get views? No, I don't want to play the status game. I really want to create content that inspires people to think more, and this mission has never changed. And the most powerful thing is, true freedom comes when you care more about your impact, your value, than your position in any types of hierarchy. The next principle, fortunes require leverage. Naval explained that leverage is what turns your knowledge and skills into true wealth. Even with specific knowledge, but without leverage, you are always limited by your own time and energy. And there are three types of leverage according to Naval. Labor, people working for you. Capital, funding to run your projects. And the last one is what we might have missed, products with low marginal cost of replication. Especially he mentioned codes and media. The last two are what he calls permissionless leverage because you don't need anyone's approval to use them. You can create software and media that works for you while you sleep. Like Nathan Barry building kit with no outside investment, Coding is his leverage. Ali Abdaal, one of my favorite YouTubers with over 6 million subscribers, publishing his book, Media is his leverage. What truly changed my perspective was understanding that in today's world, with AI, there can be lots of leverage, and anyone can access these powerful forms of leverage and start building wealth together with your specific knowledge. So think about how you could create something once that continue to deliver values repeatedly. What skills, knowledge, or ideas that you could transform into code, content, media, or products that work for you and become your leverage. The next principle, you create your own luck. You put yourself in a position to capitalize on luck or to attract luck when nobody else creates the opportunity for themselves. Naval explained there are 4 types of luck, but the most powerful kind is what they call luck from your unique character. Opportunities come to you because of who you are, not just what you do. And these are not random luck, it's the luck you intentionally create through your character and reputation building. And this just inspired me to think about the meaning of growth in AI age. When everyone is talking about efficiency, AI automation, building your unique character, brand, or reputation is your ultimate leverage. AI might replace so many skills, but your personality, your perspective, and the trust that you build with others will make you stand out. And that also resonates with an other post that I recently read from a Taiwanese author. So what he said is, you don't have to try hard to be different from others. Just don't try to be the same as everyone else. Let your everyday actions, speech, and behavior reflect consistent beliefs and values, and that is enough. Eventually, you productize yourself. You are the brand and you attract opportunities for yourself. What unique skills, personality, or perspective make you stand out from the crowd? This book didn't give me the blueprint or step-by-step of wealth creation, but this is such a great book that changed so much how I see about building wealth and living a happy life. And you can have both together. This book is just full of wisdom, and I highly recommend reading it yourself, and also the whole podcast series about wealth creations from Naval. I'll put the link below. Perhaps you'll get some new inspirations from your own experience. No matter what situations you're facing now, most of them can be solved by changing your mindset. I hope you're doing great. I will see you next time.